From the world over, they all are getting together from the different parts, and they want to empower the entire education ecosystem. Because at present, 1.8 billion children world over, 1.8 billion children world over, they are away from their schools, their colleges, their universities, their technical institutions, polytechnics, ITIs, whatever you talk about. They all are at present away. They're confined to their residences. They are not in a position to go to their respective educational institutions. So like doctors, nurses, paramedical people, the role of the teachers also is that of the warriors. Now, so far in this particular journey, we have got various programs. We have done a couple of programs on relevance of Buddha's teaching in today's education. As subsequently I'll show you in the slides, we used to do this program every Saturday morning at 9:30. But now on the demand, on the request from the world over, from the different continents, because ultimately the message has to go deeper, it has to go professionally, and the people have to be benefited. Humanity has to be benefited. When we have got more than 500 million people following Buddhism today world over, and they all want to pick up the best of the threads, and same in a very humble way, I also want to learn the Buddha's teachings as far as empowering today's education system is concerned. Every day we get new people joining us from different places, from different countries, from different continents. So from the distinguished panelists, those are going to be with us in a little while. Let me share a few slides with you initially. This evening's program is coming to you under the most dynamic and dedicated leadership of Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya, that is the International Buddhist Confederation Secretary General. But along with him, we have got a very dedicated lady, Dr. Christy Chang. She is from Taiwan, and she is the one who has supported this particular vision, this cause, this mission, this program wholeheartedly, the best possible way, coming and getting the confluence from the whole world. This evening, we have also got distinguished guests from Portugal, we have got from Nepal, and we have got Maldives. They will be introduced to you by Dr. Christy Chong in a little while. Let me quickly share few of the slides with all of us. Who are we? Why are we? Why are you joining us? Why are you giving your time to us? And what exactly we want to achieve? Ladies and gentlemen, since 1994, that's almost when I look back, 26 years back, we started working on the confluence of all the Indians, those have gone abroad in different countries, in different continents, at different places. And today our chamber has got a network of 30 million non-resident Indians abroad. And here I'm listing out that in the different countries where all they are spread, either they are doing their own business or they are working for somebody, they have created employment, or they are self-employed, or they are working for someone, whatever is the scenario. So our chamber basically takes care of the confluence of the non-resident Indian corporate houses, and of course from time to time we give our policy, our plans, our white paper, our roadmap, our action plans to the government of India, various ministries. And during this pandemic, we have taken the journey and we have taken the cause how to make education relevant. When so many children are away from schools, colleges, and institutions, how can we help them? How there is a digital divide which is world over. And day before yesterday, when I read the news, I was so worried because at present 1.8 billion children being away. And after the pandemic, they say once the lockdown gets over, almost 11 million girls are going to drop out from schools and institutions, which is a great concern for all of us. We got to see how to keep those children back over there. So ladies and gentlemen, this particular ecosystem of the chamber, we talk about education, ecosystem empowerment. We also talk about water conservation, because all the research which is coming from world over, the next global crisis is going to be, and the next misunderstanding and the next war which is on the threshold, that is going to be on water crisis, water sharing, water management, and water strategies. Global wellness is another concern. During this pandemic, it is not that body has to be strong, your mind has to be robust. If your mind is robust, if you're mentally strong, the corona will just pass nearby, but I don't want it should go to some other country or some other continent. I want it should disappear from the universe completely, because that is the way we look at it. Then comes the micro, small, and the medium enterprise. Maximum people have lost the job from the micro, small, and the medium enterprise. I have dedicated my whole life to tourism. At present, all the travel agents, tour operator, tourist transporters, travel excursionists, hoteliers, restaurant owners, airline people, 50% people are going to be out of the job. Those restaurants will never ever open up because they are not going to be in a position to sustain that. Then we have got a large confluence of Buddhist population in ASEAN. And beyond that, when I look towards South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, all the countries, and East Asia and Pacific, when I talk about, ladies and gentlemen, so we have got a very special program on India-ASEAN partnership also coming up every Sunday. During lockdown, the thought processes are affected, business is affected, physical and mental health is affected, and the main part of the universe, that is education, is deeply affected, which we got to realize. And that's why we have taken this particular series, and we are working out from our chamber day and night. Morning 9 o'clock we start until evening 9 p.m. That is 12 hours non-stop. There is a broadcast, there is a telecast, there is a podcast. There are lots of programs what we are doing. If you are a teacher, if you have a school, if you have a college, if you have got any skill institute, competency institute, you want to empower your students, you want to motivate them positively. No stress, no anxiety, no depression, and technically you want to be sound, you want to keep pace with the time, then we are there to support you purely on a complimentary basis. Making education relevant is the agenda which we have taken. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the series of the entire week. And I must share with all of you, there is no Saturday, there is no Sunday. The program is Monday to Sunday. When I talk about all the 7 days in a week, and all 7 days you'll find the same energy, same synergy, same confluence, same strategy, how to empower the entire education ecosystem world over. And this is the series on a different days, different programs. We have got a program, special program on wellness also. Tomorrow evening at the same time, if you join, you will come to know how to remove diabetes, how to remove depression. There are a couple of things which comes, spondylitis, arthritis, rheumatic arthritis, couple of things we take on. Okay. Now, ICSI, our through our finishing school, we are empowering the entire education ecosystem, which we have already shared with you. Now, in a very humble way, I wish to share with all of you, our immediate past president holds his second PhD in Buddhism. He dedicated 8 years in Buddhism. And he was the one who convinced me, who influenced me, who motivated me. And I personally feel there's so much of soothing inside now, because on Saturday, 21st of May 2016, there was a Buddha Purnima celebrations. And when I saw the confluence of about 12 to 13,000 people on a common platform on the Buddha Purnima celebration, and when our chamber participated over there, along with my president, I realized for the first time what exactly is Buddha's philosophy, what are Buddha's teachings, and India has got so much to give to the entire world, and what Lord Buddha gave over here. And when I talked about the Nalanda University, the Pali language, the Sanskrit language, 2,000 Acharya, 10,000 students, how it was a residential, world's first residential university, and so much to learn over there. And from there, the humble journey started, Buddhist heritage and the pilgrimage journey, when we talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And then in Delhi, we had empowering teachers, empowering educator, and empowering entire India. It was a global confluence of Buddhist followers. He's our immediate past president, Professor Deman, who is based out of US. He's at the Woodbury University. He got the best management professor teacher award out of 500 universities participation. We are privileged, we are proud. When he did his second Buddhism university, that PhD, He gave us the idea. So he told, living Buddhist leadership is very important. Let's bring Buddha's teachings and all the sermons what he conveyed into our education system today. And from there, we kept on moving. And during this pandemic, on 21st of June 2020, on Sunday in the morning at 9:30, our immediate past president and Venerable Dr. Dhammapiyaji, they were together on a common platform. It was a wonderful deliberation. Those are watching us world over, ladies and gentlemen. You can see us live on the Facebook also. And I always wonder why most of the people feel like coming on a Facebook. You feel shy to register in the webinar because people will come to know you are a student at this age of 70. I want to be a humble student. I want to learn. I want to understand. I want to know more and more about Buddhism. I want to be the best disciple, whatever I can pick up the threads out of Buddhism and how it can be relevant to our education system today. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we started this humble journey on 4th of July, after that program which I have shown you, that was on the International Yoga Day on 21st June, we started the journey every Saturday, 4th of July onward. And we kept on getting the people. These are legends. They came from world over. I'm so grateful to them. From 4th of July, we came to 11th of July. From 11th of July, we came to 18th of July. It was a wonderful day for me because 18th of July, I met Dr. Christy Chung and she joined that particular day. Early in the morning, she was running in a couple of webinars. There was a book release on the other side and there was a program this side and she was attending something else also. But she did justice with everybody and nobody could make out except us that she's doing so many programs. And that was on 18th of July when she joined and she gave wonderful inputs to us. Then came 25th of July. Again, we had wonderful deliberations on 25th. Then came 1st of August. We had a wonderful program once again and lots of deliberation. Then came 8th of August. Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful deliberations. And then was India's Independence Day on 15th of August. And one of the monk, the nun, the lady who joined us from Nepal, what a beautiful voice, the chanting and the mantras and whatever she gave that day, it was so soothing to my eyes, ears, soul, spirit. I'm saying there was so much to pick up that particular day. And I wish that program should never get over. It was a great to listen to her voice and her views and of course singing. Then came 22nd August, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we had a wonderful deliberations along with so many participants. Then came 29th of August. That was another wonderful journey when we had the views. And today, of course, you will be meeting today's distinguished guest in a little while. When I look back at Nalanda and when I look back this ancient Nalanda University and Buddhism teachings, what exactly must have happened at that point of time? How much treasure was collected? What exactly was happening over there? And these 2,000 teachers, and they were giving, I'm saying education was free, stay was free, your boarding lodging was free, your food was free, everything was free. And these children, those were studying over there, coming from the whole world. And now the vision comes, there should be an international Buddhist university. And this particular vision from the chamber, we wholeheartedly support. My president also supports. He's from Thailand at point of time. And the next president is going to be from Malaysia. So all of us, when we look at this entire effort, when we look at this entire journey, ladies and gentlemen, there's so much to pick up and so much to learn from my soul, from my spirit, from my mind. When I talk about hands, head, and of course, the heart, all of them, when they have to be synergized together, I want this university to come at the earliest. I request all my stakeholders, people, those are watching this program world over, and particularly our members, those are our prominent members world over of our chamber, international members. I would request each one of you, try and get into the depth of it. This particular university, if it comes up, it will it will do wonders on this planet. And there's just so much which has to be done in the universe. We need global peace. From our chamber side, in a very humble way, at present we are training 30 boys and girls. We are giving them free training. It's a 1 year program. They will be finishing soon. And these kids, they are learning to know that the people those come for pilgrimage to India, how they should be facilitated, whether they are coming by chartered flight or they're coming by road, they're coming by rail, they need a transportation, they need accommodation, they need a particular kind of a food, they need some kind of a interpretation services. God forbid if somebody falls sick, what kind of a treatment to be given, where they got to be taken, at the same time, what kind of a hotel they need, and what kind of a language facility they need, and what kind of a prayer they want to do when they want to go to Bodh Gaya, they want to go to Sarnath, they want to go to Kushinagar, they want to go to Vaishali, whatever, wherever they want to be. All the places related to Buddhism and Lord Buddha which are associated with, these children are getting trained. Should you wish in your country, wherever you are, that some more people to be trained, we would be more than happy to share this program with you. It will go complimentary. Should you wish it should be imparted from India, we can give that also. Should you wish to have the contents of this, we can share that also. The ultimate aim is the entire humanity to be benefited, people to be benefited, and the Buddhist pilgrimage to be benefited. That part is very important. But at the same time, I must tell you in a very humble way, people, those are coming to Leh Ladakh, those are coming to Tawang Festival, or those are coming to Bodh Gaya, those are coming to other places. Some of the monks, those are married, their children are grown up now, they also need some kind of an opening. Some hand holding has to be done for them also. So our chamber is thinking very seriously, very, very seriously. We don't want to do anything cosmetic. Whatever we want to do, we want to do wholeheartedly. We want to do with the total passion, dedication, and devotion. And that's why this particular program. This is the last slide, ladies and gentlemen. And we believe, strongly believe from our chamber, whatever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make education relevant. If we want the world to be a better place, if you want there should be a global peace, if you want there should be a harmony, and there should be a brotherhood, and all of us in different continents, in entire globe, we live like one family, one world, one globe, then education is the place. Because when you educate somebody, you bring that awareness in them, who you are, what are you doing, why are you doing that way, why are you not following the right path. So it makes you more humble. When I started my journey abroad, and when I started traveling, because I'm a very privileged soul, I traveled half the world, and it was every time when I traveled and when I met people, I came to know I'm insignificant. I have no existence. I am no one. This voice is somebody. This body is somebody. Everything belongs to someone. Who is speaking? I do not know who is speaking. I do not know who this soul is. I want to be a very humble student. I want to learn from each one of you. Please do educate me. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a global confluence of educators, motivators, technocrats, counselors, wellness experts, corporate, government administrators, and the decision makers world over. I extend a very warm welcome. Should you wish to come as a panelist, because our program is from Monday to Sunday, you want to come anywhere, you're more than welcome. You can send us a mail at innovation@icsi.asia, or you can also come on the WhatsApp that is also listed over here. So, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, of course, I wish to share with all of you, as I was telling you, tomorrow evening you will see this program, Ayurveda for the Global Wellness. Let's say goodbye to diabetes. Nobody should be diabetic. A lot of people are dying world over. So tomorrow evening, if you join at 7 o'clock, you will hear these 5 legends. These are doctors of Ayurveda, and they will talk to you on how to overcome diabetes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, wholeheartedly, with lots of dedication, devotion, and my heartfelt greetings, I extend a very hearty welcome to Dr. Christy Chung from Taiwan. She is a joint president of International Buddhist Confederation. She's a chair, International Planning Committee of the 17th Sakhyadita International Association of Buddhist Women. Professionally, Dr. Chang is a prolific linguist, and she's a translator and educator. She's a leading council of international educational exchange. So I hand you over in the safe hands to Dr. Christie, who will moderate the deliberation. And with these words, ladies and gentlemen, I drop the curtains and we extend a very, very hearty welcome to all the distinguished guests, those who have joined us this evening, this program. And I'm also privileged that Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya, he has also joined us right over here. He's also with us. So Dr. Christie, you can welcome Dr. Dhammapiya also from our side. You can extend a very hearty welcome, because like I gave him a surprise one morning, he's also given me one surprise one evening. So ladies and gentlemen, extending a very hearty welcome to all of you. And Dr. Christie, you can take the journey ahead, and thereafter you can start with Dr. Dhammapiya, and then we can take other speakers.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Goshan Sharmaji. Namaskar. Thank you for your kind introduction. So since Venerable Dr. Dhammapiyaji is back, may we request that Venerable to start our program with the beautiful chants.
Okay, maybe you cannot see me properly as I'm in the car, in the moving car now. So I'll start with the Mangala Charan chanting, then I'll hand over to you, then you can continue with the panelist, and I'll join when I reach my room after some time. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dudiyampi Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. Good evening to everyone. I welcome you all, the panelists, and also the respected our audience and everyone to this Dhamma talk, we would say, sharing of knowledge and experiences on the topic, the relevance of the thing in today's education. I would request Dr. Christie Chang to continue with the program for some time, then I'll join. Please, Sister Dr. Christie Chang, you can continue.
Okay, thank you, Venerable. Safe traveling on the road. Okay, so today we have three wonderful panelists from the different parts of the world. May I have the slide on so that I can properly introduce our panelists? Thank you. Be the next slide, please. All right, let me introduce our first panelist. You can see our very beautiful panelists here, Dr. Sonia Gomes from Portugal. I'm very happy that she's here with us today at 2:30 p.m. her time rather than 5 a.m. So thanks to the moving of this panel to the prime time, I'm very grateful for that. So Dr. Sonia Gomes, she's the founder and CEO of Spaço Zen Wellness Centers in Portugal. Imagine a Dharma, a Buddhist center in Portugal. And she is a global goodwill ambassador, the Portuguese chapter in terms of education, female empowerment, and gender equity programs in Asia. And Dr. Gomes is also an international advisor at Lotus Heart NGO in Nepal, working on education for women and female empowerment internationally. She's also, working on the Nepal Buddhist Education and Meditation Center, and she's the advisor at the Lotus Foundation in India, the Sangaha, right? Foundation in India since July 2020. Dr. Gomes has received many awards, including the Prize of Global CEO Excellence 2018, and also, the best, health and wellness CEO Portugal awarded in 2018. And her major interest lies in human rights, poverty eradication, empowerment and development, health and education, gender equity. And she's you already saw, she's a, award-winning CEO, and she encourages social entrepreneurship. So that's our first panelist. Let me go on to introduce our two other panelists. Our second panelist is Dr. Pia Ratna from Nepal. Dr. Pia Ratna Maharjan is Secretary General of International Buddhist Education Center, which has branches in Myanmar, Nepal, and the Netherlands. He's a social community development, and which I cannot see from the screen now. In any case, he is based in Kathmandu, Nepal. He has expansive experiences on youth development and international affairs, and he's very well recognized both locally and globally. And he has really high level connection back in his home country in Nepal. He's a winner also of various awards, including the World Peace Award, World Humanitarian, and Human Rights. He's a winner of those awards. And our third speaker, Mr. Sharap Wong, based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Sharap actually means wisdom. He is the founder and coordinator of Vajra Link, which is a Buddhist movement with a motto of dynamic Dharma, creative change. And he's a Dharma translator of all schools of Buddhism. So you can imagine how knowledgeable Sharap is. And is a great speaker, as you will know later on. He's an author and enthusiast of Eastern and Western wisdom traditions. So these are all our three speakers. So without further ado, shall we welcome Dr. Sonia Gomes to do her presentation first.
Thank you very much, dear Dr. Christy Shang, and thank you so much for the invitation. Also, thank you so much for the Chamber of Commerce in India. And I want to say hi to all my colleagues and all the audience that are listening to us. And it's a pleasure to be able to talk about the importance of Buddhist values for education. So I was wondering, because this is a very vast theme and so important, especially for youth, because it's very important to invite youth to join and practice Buddhism and to walk the path and walk their lives, including Buddhist in their values. And I think there are so many important things, but starting from the less beginning, that is the equanimity sense and the interdependent sense. I think these are two very important values in our days that we should be very aware and pass to our youngsters in the schools. These are very important points so they can develop compassion and different attitudes for the future. Because we can realize that today we have a very selfish society all over the world, not in particular continents, Europe, Asia, doesn't matter. I think people are very, very selfish and centering their own interests, and they don't realize that everything is interdependent. And for example, we all need water, we all need oxygen. So if we pollute it and we have wrong behaviors, of course, this will bring bad results to everybody, not only for me, not only for my family, to my place, my land. It will bring to all of us. So I think it's very important to include simple things in programs in education as basics, for example, as ethics, human ethics, because we are losing the sense of humanity. And I think the coronavirus, brought us to the reality that the selfish virus could be even worse if we are not aware. So this is very important. The Buddhist values are very important to increase the sense of community, of sharing, of doing things together, implement, realizing that strength comes from the all point, not from the self point. So we need to really use the Buddhist values to change this mindset in our world today. So I would start by bring this out and call the attention and awareness of the interdependence aspect and also the equanimity aspect. Not blame this or point the finger to that, but point the fingers to ourselves, analyze how we are dealing with things, how we are leaving things, and then changing our way and our attitude, we can do better and also inspire others to have a better attitude. So I think Buddhist values are very important to integrate in communities, in society, but especially to the younger people that are too much on virtual life in our days. And they are beginning to not live real relationships. They are beginning to stay away from a real suffering because they see in the video or this or that, but they don't have the senses. They don't work their senses because they don't develop this proximate relation. So I think it's very important to always remember the interdependence and equanimity, and also begin to bring to real life very good aspects of Buddhism. I also would like to really thank Dr. Gulash Sharma for the wonderful reminder he made that Buddhism is not only for monks and nuns, because everybody brings this idea, and especially if you go to the West, many people think, oh, Buddhists, they immediately think in monasteries, in nuns and monks. It is not that. You have lay people in Buddhism, you have a lot of lay practitioners, family. Also, you have monks that are married. Also, you have people that are dealing in normal life, family life. So Buddhism values are really very important also to develop this community aspect in normal life, dealing with stress, dealing with work, not entering competition too hard, not enter too much in confrontation, but realize that together and with patience, we can do much, much better. Also in our families, and also realizing that Buddhism is practicing not only in the monasteries, not only with monks, not only with nuns, but is open to everybody. So it's wonderful to bring also this up and remember our youth that Buddhism is not only for monks and nuns, that they are wonderful tools for the normal life and to help us in guidance our normal life and including good ethics in our path, in our daily life with our family. So I wanted to bring this issue up too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sonia Gomes. Very important to remember that, you know, just like last time, we also had another presenter who talked about the 4 groups of the Buddhist community. So they are the ordained, the monastics, and they are the lay community. So very important to remember this interdependence, and we work together, and how precious these teachings are, that we can use as tools to benefit ourselves, others, right? Thank you so much. Thank you for the message.
Leave now the
Yes.
conversation, and then if there is some questions or whatever, I feel comfortable to do it. Thank you so much.
All right. So we will, wait for the questions later on. We'll move on to our next panelist first. All right. So may I request our second panelist, Dr. Pia Ratna, to do his presentation? You are muted, Dr. Pia.
Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Good.
Yes. Warm greetings from Kathmandu, Nepal, the land of the Buddha, who was born here in Lumbini, and message of peace from Nepal. So, Namo Buddhaya and Namo Dhammaya and Namo Sanghaya. So, thank you very much, Dr. Christy Chang, who has been inviting me for this wonderful session. And after getting the briefing from Dr. Gulshan Sharma, I was very much enlightened. And the works has been done by ICSI, and also our thanks goes to the Venerable Dhammapia, the Secretary General of International Buddhist Confederation, India. And the topics are very much relevant of today. What is that? Is that relevance of Buddha's teaching in today's education. So I was very amazed by this ICSI taking this role and promoting Buddhism throughout the world, from India, where the Buddha was been promoting and promulgating the Buddhism throughout the world from the land. And today's topic is like making education relevance. So this is the vast topic that has been brought, and under that, how the relevance of Buddhist teaching, Buddha's teaching in today's education, that we have to focus on that. Because Buddhism was founded 2067 years ago, and that first after his enlightenment, Buddha went to the Deer Park near the holy city of Benares, and share his new understanding with 5 holy men, and understood immediately to become his disciple. And this marked the beginning of propagation of teachings. And after next 45 years, the Buddha and his disciple went from place to place in India, spreading the Dhamma and teachings. So the compassion knew no bounds. They helped everyone along the way, beggars, kings, and the slaves. So we can see 2,500 years ago, where the Buddha was expound the Buddhism about the compassion, and which is very much relevant to this today's society. And we have to be very much learn about how to spread compassion and helping each other, and extending our compassion to other people. For example, the ICSI is now just show us that grand master plan of having the university to build in India. That was very marvelous. So that from around the world, we should have like understanding and compassion towards how we can help each other to promoting the Buddhism and the education, spreading not only to Asia, but also to the West. As the Dr. Sonia also explained already, and this collaboration is most important. And in the West, Buddhism is not just for nunnery and for monks, it's also for the lay people. And it was very much relevant of all the Buddhist teaching. Mainly I focus on today's Buddhism. It was like the 3 universal truths and the 4 noble truths, and our Astangika Marga, that is 8 noble path. That is the very the fundamental and focus that what is the Buddhism was. And through that noble 8 that, which is consists of components of that, where there is wisdom, ethics, concentration. So this Sila, Samadhi, Panya, with this with combination of these three, that which is very much relevant for today's education, whereby right view and understanding is very much necessary at all sphere of our society: right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right efforts, and right mindfulness, and right concentration. These are the 8 that points Buddha has taught us during that 2,500 years ago. So still this education is much relevant to us. So this education is now being expanding at the school level, at the Montessori level, at the same time. We have university in different countries in Asia, in even Malaysia, Taiwan, India now is expanding. Also in Nepal, we have Lumbini University and also Tribhuvan University, whereby we are having the Buddhist studies departments promoting Buddhism and expanding and propagating among the young people. As I am also the Secretary General, also, and I'm also the President of International Youth Society, which I have a 141 countries network. So I was, after hearing from Dr. Sharma, I was thinking that I can also connect this my network of youth, International Youth Society, which has 141 countries, and propagating the wonderful message of the Buddha. And out of that, we have like 4 noble truths, which is the central foundation of Buddhism, which is, we thought that's about the suffering, and what is the cause of that, and how we can get away from that. It has shown us the path for how to get rid of that. So in this technological world, modern world of 20th century, and we need this, many people are suffering. And though we have a lot of infrastructure and happy, conscious, luxurious, and all this technology, and still the humanity, the people are not happy about that. So therefore, this the 4 noble truths expounded by the Buddha was very much relevant of this society. And first of all, another thing is most important is also the 5 precepts we call the Panchasila, whereby the first is non-killing. That means we should respect the life of the others. And also when we talk about the stealing, we have to respect, not taking or watching or hoarding the property of other people, which is not belong to you. And also third is sexual misconduct. So that means we have to respect the pure nature, whereby this at this moment, at this modern society, the non-violent violence is so much spreading all over the world, and also rape of this, and also seeing the not respecting the women and girls is that much very much away from that. So we should have built this ethics expounded by the Buddha, which is very much relevant to more than that is that is present moment. And also another thing is lying. That means we should be learn how to be honest and respect each other. And also we have to not taking intoxication. That means we have to respect and we have to keep our mind very much clear about this. So these 5 precepts is very much also very important, and the extension of 5 precepts is there's a 10 precept actually. And for the monks, they have to do that way. But at this moment, that 10 precept also very much relevant of that, because taking meals, which is after the 12 o'clock, which is been the rules has been supposed to be set for the monk and nuns, but now it's more relevant to the even lay people, because most of the people have now very much concerned about the food hygiene and the health body, and they also maintain the diet. So we're taking moderate food, which has been Buddha has been taught 2,500 years ago, is mostly relevant at this moment. So this is another thing. So accepting sitting on a high seat means we are having excessive luxury rather than spending a moderate life. And with this, in our Buddhism, we have like a Tripitaka, which is the canonical text, which has said a lot of expounding doctrines, which is very much relevant to this, and also the Vinaya, a disciplined manner also we have to be learned from that, and also Sutra, we have been talking about 5 Sutra, Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Samyutta Nikaya, Anutta Nikaya, Abhidhamma are the most relevant textbook for today's world. And we cannot forget about the path of purification, Vishuddhi Marga, which is the condensation of the Buddhist doctrines and meditation techniques, and which has been actually written by Bhadanta Buddha Ghosa. And Dhammapada is another very relevant books for all of us, especially also for the kids and children. They can also learn the story, and they can learn the ethics and the moral values of discipline from there. Also, I mean, the Jatak story. And meditation is the most universal values that we can learn, or everybody can learn. And at this moment, even Western countries, this meditation is spreading all over many of the countries. Even from the Tibetan Buddhism, they are spreading so much. And I was very much happy about learning from the Buddhism aspect of the humanistic Buddhism, whereby they are teaching about the humanitarian social work that we have to learn, and we can do this service during this pandemic, because we have to be very much helping each other during this pandemic. And also, this ethics are very much universal. So because of this eternal the doctrines of the Buddha was very much relevant to this world. And finally, conclusion, I was the one to highlight about the Brahma Viharas, what we call the 4 sublime states, which Mudita has been, Karuna has been a little bit explained by the so I just want to say 4 Brahma Viharas also very much relevant to this world, which is called Metta, is a caring, loving kindness display to all you we met. Karuna, compassion or mercy, a special kindness shown to those who are suffering. Mudita, we have to develop this. Sympathetic joy, being happy for others and without trace of envy. And Upekha, equanimity or levelness, the ability to accept others as they are. Thank you very much. Sadhu and sadhu and sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Dr. Pia Ratna, for having given us this, very quick review of all the precious Buddha's teachings. Thank you very much. And I think we're making Dr. Goshan Sharmaji very happy, because Dr. Sharma was talking about all these wonderful programs, and we need to carry on, like these projects. And today, in addition to our Dr. Sonia Gomes, who's like a award-winning woman CEO, we also got Dr. Pia, who has the youth network internationally. So you got really very strong people here who can also collaborate. So I'm sure you're very happy. Okay. Thank you. And without further ado, let us also welcome our third panelist, our brother Sherab Wong, to do his presentation. I believe Sherab wants to do a PowerPoint presentation, right? You need to unmute first.
Unmute your mic. Yes.
Yeah. Can everybody here can see the?
Yes.
Can see my slides. I can.
Yes, we can see. We can.
Okay, sure. Good morning and good afternoon or good evening to all of you. I'm very happy to be here in this very meaningful gathering here. We share online and virtually with all over the world. So without further ado, I think I need to share my topics here, because I have a lot of slides to share with all of you. And my title today is Wake Up, Grow Up and Heal the World. How to use the teaching of the Buddha to transform our Buddhist community, okay? First, we need to understand, as a Buddhist, we usually take for granted, the teachings of the Buddha, forgetting that it is a powerful tool for us to transform ourselves and to help heal the world. As Buddhists, we are also reminded to lend our helping hands and heal and liberate the world. But we forget that all healing and transformation need to begin with ourselves, with our own community. And we need to help our own Buddhist community in healing and solving our own internal issues and hidden problems first before we can heal the world and or help the world. So first of all, let us have a holistic view on what are the problems or the issues that we are facing now as a global family of Sangha. So first, I think, I feel that the first problem we have is guru worship, which is quite, or certain cults behavior in Buddhism, which is quite popular in three traditions, be it Vajrayana, Theravada, or Mahayana. So what are the cults behavior actually? The cult behavior is that these are the warning signs of the cult, or some cultish behavior in Buddhism. When you believe or think that the guru or the leader or the bhante or monk, whatever, or laity leaders or teachers is the ultimate authority of truth or wisdom. Yeah, this is the first sign, the warning sign. Secondly, we suppress skepticism and we rationalize lies because lie themselves that the guru is perfect. We have to follow the guru 100%. And we suppress skepticism and we rationalize his or her behavior, especially those that contradict to the society norms and ethical conducts. Yeah. So, and then the third sign is that we are taught to be paranoid about the world, the outside world especially in particular, which is a divisive style of teachings ingrained in our subconscious mind. Like we against them, Buddhism against other religion, the East value against the Western values, etc. And then we also need to think that, we are also encouraged to think that the guru is above the law. If we are held to a different moral standard, especially in regard to sex, and we are probably in a cult, or we are following a wrong teacher, yeah, whether it's Buddhist or not, it really doesn't matter. And the most prevalent idea among the cult leaders, whether in Buddhism or in other religion, is that they are above the law. Yeah, they tell they are above the law, be it human or divine. And this idea will allow them to exploit their followers economically or sexually without repercussions. So we need to wake up and grow up and understand that there's a problem with Buddhism. So we must solve this problem first. So, and then we need to think twice, act wisely, check your gurus and his or her behaviors, values, and the moral conducts. Analyze the direction of your belief system and values. Second, the issue we have in Buddhism, in Buddhist community, is scandals. Yeah, we have scandals all around the world in 3 schools, and this is a very sensitive issue actually. Yeah, these scandals happen, quietly, quite often, in the East and in the West, and yet Buddhist community at large is generally quite silent about it. Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. We sweep it under the carpet, and we say everything is all right, and then we just move on from there. So news reports and emerging scandals around the globe prove that sexual abuse by both lay and ordained Buddhist teachers is rampant and persistent. Yeah, the abuses have marred the spiritual welfare of countless children, women, and men. So men also involved and become the victim of these sexual scandals. So what we need to do here as the global community of Sangha, we should sincerely ask the Buddhist leaders, monks, nuns, and laity, and the whole community to be inspired and led by the global family of the Sangha to endorse and implement the following requests. First one is to accept the experts' compilation of survivors' testimonies and reports and respond to some of their constructive ideas for following up actions. Positive action need to be taken. And secondly, to promote and organize frequent dialogues with scientists, psychologists, psychotherapists, and Buddhists from three traditions to host a meeting on human sexuality, sexual abuse by lay and ordained religious teachers, and sexual trauma. And next is to affirm publicly that Buddhist teachers who commit crimes and misdemeanors, just like any other citizens, are liable to criminal prosecution and civil actions. And last but not least, to handle these Buddhist scandals fully, carefully, and mindfully, we need a constant dialogues and Dharma cooperation between the various entities such as Dharma teachers, both lay and Sangha, and also lawyers, social workers, and psychotherapists, Dharma workers, human rights activists, and political leaders. Yeah. So, but at the end, I think we need to focus on healing and forgiveness, compassion and equanimity, as Dr. Sonia said, while pursuing justice and integrity without any compromise. So this is a very important point. And third issue that we have in our Buddhist community is that we tend to focus on our inner practice rather than going out there to engage in the social issues. Yeah? This is the third issue that we are facing. Most of the Buddhists I talk to, I engage with, they are not that interested in engaging in the world and to help and heal all other sentient beings, or to liberate all other sentient beings, directly, practically, passionately, or compassionately. Okay, so but in the Thich Nhat Hanh, in his Interbeing, in the book by the title of Interbeing, he says the fourth mindfulness training is this: we need to commit to do our best not to run away from the suffering of the world or cover it up through avoidance and other means. Yeah, we should engage actively in any social movement that will help heal the world and release her from individual and collective sufferings. And we need to be committed to finding ways, including personal contact or using telephone, electronic, audiovisual, and other means to be with those who are suffer, so we can help them to transform their sufferings into compassion, joy, and peace. So this is the solution for that issue, actually. And the fourth issue that we are having in our Buddhist community is that lack of meaningful cooperation between and dialogues between the three traditions, namely Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. So we need to encourage all Buddhists all around the world to practice the slogan of three yanas, one Dharma. And we need to celebrate Vesak Day together with Dharma talks and pujas, rituals we together. And we need to practice the second mindfulness training propagated by Thich Nhat Hanh as well, which is non-attachment to our views, even the Buddhist ones. And we need to promote more inter-religious dialogues between different schools within Buddhism before we can speak with a unified voice and have a meaningful dialogue to other religions. Before we have a meaningful inter-religious dialogue, we need to have intra-faith dialogue within our schools of Buddhism first. So in Malaysia, like I using example in Malaysia, for example, in Malaysia we practice the three traditions together. In the morning, maybe we can do some vipassana meditation. Next day we will join empowerment, Ajata empowerment, and next we will do Zen meditation. So we practice these three traditions together. And the next issue that we are facing in our Buddhist community is the attachment towards one's Buddhist identity. We need to be reminded that the Buddha was not a Buddhist, and Jesus was not a Christian, and Muhammad was not a Muslim. They are teachers of love. So love is the religion. So we can have love without religion, including Buddhism, but we cannot have religion without love. So love is the ultimate religion here. So, and Thich Nhat Hanh also said that there's a misconception that Buddhism is a religion. But many people think that we are worshipping the Buddha as a god, but it is not. Buddhism is a practice just like other practice, like yoga. And you can be a Christian and practice Buddhism. And once he met a Catholic priest who lived in a Buddhist monastery in France, he told me that Buddhism makes him a better Christian. And I love that. So this is Master Thich Nhat Hanh. Please remember that once a person asked the Buddha, are you a god? The Buddha said, no, I'm not a god. Then he asked, are you an angel? No, Buddha said, I'm not an angel. Are you a healer? No, I'm not a healer. Then the Buddha said, then who are you and what are you? Then the Buddha answered, I'm simply awake. So as Buddhists, we need to be focused on becoming awake rather than making ourselves a good Buddhist. Yeah. So, and then in the Interbeing, the 14 precepts composed by Thich Nhat Hanh, he said that we cannot be idolatrous about or bound to any doctrine, including the Buddhist one, and do not think that the knowledge that we presently possess, even Dharma knowledge or Dharma practice, is changeless or absolute truth. Avoid being narrow-minded and bound to your own views. Learn and practice with open-heartedness. Okay. And then so many people think that we are so negative. We talk about negative things and scandals and bad things in Buddhism. But I think there's a wonderful thing, wonderful place to start to renew ourselves, to refresh our faith, and to beginning anew. Because there's a crack in everything. That's how the light comes in, like Leonard Cohen said. And Rumi, the mystical poem, also said, the wound is a place where the light comes in. So we should be grateful for the wounds or the cracks that we have within Buddhist community. And so if an egg is broken by outside force, life ends. If it's broken by inside force, then the life begins. So hopefully when we focus on the internal issues and problems in Buddhism, we can start inside out and lending our helping hands to heal and help and to liberate the world as a whole. Okay, so I have some suggestions here, but before we look at the suggestion, we need to have a paradigm shift, because we cannot solve the problems with the thinking that we used when we created the problems. Yeah. So the suggestions here is I have 3 suggestions here. First is to practice engaged Buddhism. As we all know, the engaged Buddhism talks about the 14 principles, interbeing. And the second solution is to embrace integral Dharma. And the 3 is practice 7 ups. I'll tell you what is 7 ups later. So the first one is engaged Buddhism. Yeah, engaged Buddhism talks about the 14 principles: openness, non-attachment to views, freedom of thought, awareness of suffering, compassion, healthy living. Heard about healthy living just now. Taking care of our anger, and 7, dwell happily in the present moment. Enjoy your present moment awareness. And 8, to build a community of trust and love. And 9, be truthful, have truthful and loving speech. And 10, protecting and nourishing the Sangha. And 11 is a right livelihood. 12, reverence of life. And 13, be generous. And 14, practice true love and love your body. So this can be viewed, can be understood by reading these 2 books, Interbeing, the book written by Master Thich Nhat Hanh about what is engaged Buddhism. Yeah. So the second solution I'm proposing here is integral Buddhism or integral Dharma. So what is the religion look like in the future? Ken Wilber created a word called integral Buddhism or integral spirituality. So basically, integral Dharma is a framework that includes but not limited by the knowledge, data, and practical application of modern science, technology, philosophy, and psychotherapy, or other modern disciplines. So we need to integrate the wisdom knowledge that we have in Buddhism with other worldly knowledge, and to have a good foundation for us to heal and help liberate the world. So it is practically relevant and efficient in preventing spiritual materialism, as is always propagated by Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, or spiritual bypass, which is quite often happen in the Buddhist community. Yeah. So the first evolutionary turning, in integral Buddhism, we talk about the 4 types of the turning of the wheel of Dharma. So the first turning wheel of Dharma happens as Theravada Buddhism, which is basic as what Dr. Pia said just now, the 4 noble truths, 8 noble path, etc. And then the second turning is, which is Mahayana Buddhism, which is the involvement of Buddhism globally, which Dr. Sonia talked about: equanimity, compassion, interdependence, etc. And the third turning, which is Vajrayana Buddhism, which is talk about the tantric views, etc. Skillful means. Yeah. And then we need a new turning of the wheel of Dharma. So with the new turning of the wheel of Dharma coming soon, we think it is quite possible. But as we like to say, the next Buddha is the Sangha. The next Buddha has to come from the Sangha itself. Yeah. So the fourth turning is about the global awakening. And it's the wheel of Dharma here is not turned by the Buddha, but turned by everyone, each and every one of us. Now, in order to reach the critical mass of humanity by using the dynamic Dharma and to create necessary positive and creative change for global awakening. So this is what the turning of the wheel of Dharma is about. And then in integral theory or integral vision or integral spirituality, they talk about many other aspects such as individual, interior, exterior, and group, and all quadrant, all levels, and I don't have time to talk about that. So we move on to the next one. All this can be read through two books, The Region of Tomorrow by Ken Wilber, and as well as Integral Buddhism by Ken Wilber as well. So last solution I'm offering here is the 7 Ups. Yeah, I use this because it's just a report, easy for us to remember. I'm not promoting the brand of any soft drink here. Okay, 7 Ups here means actually we need to wake up. Actually, wake up from the illusion that Buddhism is perfect and nothing wrong in our Buddhist community. We need to wake up from this illusory dream. Yeah, wake up and grow up. Yeah, and wake up also means the arts of enlightenment. Yeah, the spiritual art of enlightenment, which we are doing now. Zen practitioner or Vipassana or Dzogchen, whatever. Continue to that. We need to wake up ourselves from this dream of samsara. And grow up. Grow up means that we need to integrate our dharma knowledge, our supramundane knowledge with worldly life, with worldly knowledge. We need to grow up not only spiritually and religiously, but we also need to grow up scientifically, politically, socially, etc. You know, and thirdly, we need to own up our internal issue, which is scandals and problems, and the thing that we don't like to touch, we don't like to see, we don't like to talk about that. We need to own it up, and we need to do some cleanup and fix up. We should have a practical approach and solution, focus on the victims and the healing. Yeah, and the fifth, we need to show up. We need to manifest the power or the energy of our wisdom, our knowledge, our skillful means, our compassion, our equanimity, and let the world see that we exist. Yeah. And then the sixth, we need to stand up and speak up. All the injustice, suffering, and inequality in the world, suppression in the world, we need to speak up with loving kindness and with mindful language. Yeah, stand up and speak up and help the world to liberate from their suffering. And seven, but last but not least, we need to tune up and team up. We need to have a global awakening, to have collective awareness about this, and then we need to team up with other positive forces in the world, just like we are doing now here. In order, there's a global awakening here and there. So let's heal and correct our Dharma community inside out, and let us do this inside out in order to heal this planet, this alien world, which is having a very serious pandemic now. So let us wake up, grow up, and heal the world. Let us practice and engage Buddhism and embrace integral Dharma or integral spirituality for the benefits of oneself and others. Yeah, and then let's wake up, yeah, grow up, own up, clean up, fix up, show up, stand up and speak up, tune up and team up. So they're all together 7 Ups here. Okay, so we need to start now, start small. We can dream big, but we need to start small and be practical, but we need to plan for a miracle, and we can all make a difference. But if you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with the mosquito, said the Dalai Lama. So that's all for my presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Sharap.
Thank you.
So Dr. Goshan Sharmaji, are you insignificant at all?
You got to close your presentation, my brother. You got to close your presentation.
I remember you were saying, you know, when you travel all over the world, you found out how insignificant you were. So the ending slide reminded me of you immediately. So I hope we are all still awake. We are waking up, and we should hear each other with that 7 Ups, huh?
Dr. Sonia has written, it's a brilliant presentation. Wow, thank you. That's great. So let's have summing up from your side, and thereafter we get to Dhammapiyaji.
Okay, I actually see a question here. Shall I bring this question up first?
Please.
Yeah, from the audience. I'm seeing from the chat box here. This audience says that I have a question in my mind. Non-Buddhists always speak of misogynism in Buddhism. Though I personally have read about Tara as one of the goddess. Would you like to throw more light on this subject? I'm happy to find 2 great ladies on this panels. Okay, all right. So shall we have Sonia to answer this question?
Well, Thank you so much. Before I answer the question, I have to congratulate Sherab Wong. It was amazing presentation. I'm totally stunned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And after that, I was reading the question also, and Tara is the mother of all Buddhas. Is not like a goddess or something. We all have Tara aspect inside. That is another misconception we have in a lot of things when people look at Buddhism and deities and think that is totally male-centered religion. No, I would like to say that in fact, and especially if you go to Tantric Buddhism and Vajrayana, women are highly, highly venerated and respected. They are really inspiration sources to high-level stages of awareness. And without wisdom or women or female essence, it's not possible to achieve many things. So Tara and this image of Tara and mother, we can also see the red Tara, not only the white Tara, or you see, not many people talk about red Tara, but it is red Tara. We have many aspects in the female essence. We could bring this up to another discussion. What I want to say is that in reality, in its essence, Buddhism is not masculine, is not a form of excluding women. On the contrary, Buddhism always integrates women, and especially in the Vajrayana tradition. Women are highly, highly respected. Of course, also in their tradition, maybe there are the major abuses. We can talk about this, and I have to congratulate Shera Wong for bringing this up, because we should not pretend we don't have wants, and we should not pretend we don't have issues, because we have many, and we should stand up and face them. So here I am, and I think Tara will do this. She will face it. She will come, but with compassion and with the mindful essence. That is something that needs to be integrated. So I think Tara is really the representing what everybody brings to the mind, to the feminine aspect. And you always show Buddha, but they're also goddess. Tara is not a goddess, is just the most archetype of the feminine aspect, let's say like this. So a big, huge hug for all the women and all the ladies from my, I don't know if I didn't talk in an academic way. I talk simply, so also lay people can understand, because this is also a problem in Buddhism. Many people talk complicated language, very academic, and then youth and lay people, they don't understand what you're saying, and they say this is only for intellectuals. No, that is not. Buddha was not an intellectual, so he speak very simple, but we only can speak simple what we know well. So that is what is complicated. Anyway, Tara is just the symbol of the feminine, totally feminine aspect, and of enlightenment feminine aspect. But there is no feminine or masculine anyway. Angels, for the Catholics, angels, they have no sex. You cannot see if they are male or women, right? And so Tara is just the symbol of the feminine essence. But sorry, Christy, I don't know if I answer your question properly, but it was.
I think you did a great job. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. But
yeah,
I agree.
All Buddhas.
Yeah, I think everybody agrees here, right?
Yes, I agree with Sonia that saying that Tara is an archetype. I think Tara is such a wonderful example of a bodhisattva who practices 7 ups, just now I mentioned. You know, the Tara, the leg is always extending, one leg extending outward and one is inward, which is maintain his meditation posture. And then he's always ready to stand up, to speak up, to stand up. Yeah. And he wakes up from the illusory dream of samsara, you know. So I think Tara is a perfect bodhisattva archetype and example of how we should practice the 7 ups I mentioned just now. Yeah. Such a wonderful example. Yeah.
Yes, and I believe that the Buddha himself always respects women, right? He allowed his stepmother, Mahaprajapati, to enter his sangha, and there's this bhikkhuni sangha, no problem. It's just that the social and the cultural influences, in our human society, that some undesirable things we are witnessing. And in terms of this female body, again, I would like to share what I heard from Jesuma Tenzin Palmo, who is also one of the IBC presidents. You know, she's known for vowing to attain the Buddhahood in a female body. But imagine what she said in Korea, back in Korea, when you know, this journalist was pushing her for this question that, oh, you wanna, you know, like attain liberation in a female body, right? And they because they gave her book, Cave in the Snow, in a very sexy Korean title, you know, like vowing to attain Buddhahood in a female body. So they really pushed on that question. But then, you know what Jesuma said? Jesuma said, well, it's because, you know, like women throughout history have been suffering so much. I wanna, you know, like appear as a woman to encourage women. If one day can those who are oppressed maybe considered to be reborn as a man. That's what she said. All right. So I could see you laughing. All right. So are there any further questions here?
Oh, he says thank you for taking the question and answering in a good spirit. My only one question is, we want to get more and more participants in this. So the people, those have come today, and particularly Dr. P.R. Ratna has promised and committed to me, and Dr. Sonia, and then my friend from Malaysia, Sharab also, because what I need is more participation. I need more participation. I need more people. And Christy ma'am, I would request you that let's start getting some youngsters also, one or two, one boy, one girl, they coming together, sharing their views, because that would send a very, very multiplier layers, you know, the impact, because then younger generation would also be. It's not that you people are not young, you all are young, but what I'm telling is, what all I'm telling is that my school kiddies and my college and my institution, because when they will come, it would have a lot of impact. It would have a lot of impact, and we should, because we are in the formulating stage, and it will help the entire efforts to the great extent. And that's why I requested Venerable Dr. Dhammapiyaji that we should get Dr. Christie to moderate the deliberations, discussions, and everything. And that's the way we should. Now, whosoever has got more context, whosoever has got school, colleges, institution, teaching establishments, start getting those kids over here. Start getting those people over here. I'm not talking about small kiddies. I'm talking about those are into the last stage of the school, or they are just 1 year or 2 year left over to complete the school education, or those are going into college education, because that younger generation is very important to participate. And believe you me, today, after so many presentations, what Sharab has given me, he has given me a new dimension. And as this program is going to be put on the YouTube, and it's going to be made available to everybody, I'm going to watch this video again, particularly Sharab's presentation, because, you know, he has given so much of insight on so many things which I was not knowing. And I'm educating, I'm a student, and I'm a very positive student. I'm a very, very positive student. I want to learn everything in a very positive way. So, Dr. Christie.
Oh, I'm seeing another question popping up if we still have a bit time. Here, this same audience, I believe, is asking maybe the panelists to explain differences between Vipassana, Zen, and mindfulness meditation. Who want to take this question?
Can I take this question? What's the question again? The mindfulness and?
Yeah, the differences between Vipassana, Zen, and mindfulness meditation. Basically, the different types of meditation. What's the differences there?
It's a source of meditation that, as I said, is a sila, samadhi, prajna. The sila is the virtue, and whereby we in concentration, the meditation is the form or way of realization of achieving the wisdom. So that's our main goal of the ultimate goal of the Buddhism is to achieve the wisdom. So through meditation, which show the pathway in detail in the path of purification, Visuddhi Marga, that is the difference between the mindfulness and vipassana. So vipassana is the way that you yourself knowing that who you are, to identify who you are, who I am. These are the puzzle and questions that we are always we are having. And because the atta, and this is myself, who, me, my, it belongs to me. So this identity is to clarifying and eradicating the means of doing this meditation of this mindfulness. You have to keep that mind on the time, and along the way that vipassana is you sit in one place and you concentrate on that who I am. So you focus on these issues, and there are different days of providing the meditation. Like vipassana, we have 10 days retreat of vipassana meditation, whereby that's a basic that all we can be done. After you achieve a little bit higher of that wisdom, the meditation, then you can become the mindfulness you practicing. So that's the second level of meditation. That's the difference between those two meditation technique.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Sure. You want to say something?
Yeah, I think I have a dream of how nice if one day, maybe a Vesak day, all these three traditions, the teachers and students, all these three traditions, like Vipassana represented by Theravada monks and teachers, Zen, Mahayana, and also Dzogchen and Mahamudra teachers from Tibetan tradition, they all sit down under the Bodhi tree. After certain chanting and ceremonies, then we practice and learn from each other. All the teachers from all the schools learn from the other schools. All the students from this school learn from the other schools. Because when I say I'm a Zen practitioner, normally I don't understand Vipassana quite well. I don't know what is Mahamudra or Dzogchen. If I'm Tibetan Buddhist, I don't understand Zen and Vipassana as well. So there's a lack of interaction between these three schools, actually. But I'm glad that mindfulness unites us all, because mindfulness is a trend now. Mindfulness, everywhere in the world we talk about mindfulness, mindful that, mindful eating, mindful walking, how to use mindfulness to increase your productivity, etc. I think mindfulness unites us all, just like Buddha unites us all under the same umbrella. So I think there's a need for all these three traditions to work together, to have more dialogues, more seminars, and let us meditate together. To answer this question, let us meditate together to know the essence of each meditation. One day, I hope we can do that locally and globally.
I would like to invite you all to the Sakyadhita conference.
Yeah.
7 days of conference.
Yeah.
And every morning we spend the first hour meditating together by learning from a teacher from a different tradition.
That's good.
So
that's
the
very wonderful.
rotate. So that's a good way to be exposed to all the different ways of meditation. Yeah. And just to maybe to add up to what brother Dr. Pia and Sharaf said in answering this question, there are different ways of meditation, but eventually the purpose is the same.
It's just like, just like Chinese use chopstick to eat food, and Malay use hands, and Westerner use spoon and fork, Which one is good? Sometimes, for me, sometimes I use hands, sometimes I use chopsticks, sometimes I use fork and spoon. So it depends, yeah. And then we can use it without any hindrance. As a Buddhist, you should be able to practice Vipassana, Zen, mindfulness, and Dzogchen freely and mindfully. It's your choice. Yeah. And we can do this at different time of our time. We choose, just like what to eat. Yeah. It's a free choice. It's a freedom that we should appreciate rather than reject.
On and on, but we're running out of time. And may we request Dr. Dhammapiyaji to come forward?
Sister, Dr. Christie, there is a request from Dr. Sonia Gomes. She says, can I say a final point if you permit?
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Sure.
I will not take time. I will just take the chance of all our conversation today and put a nice point, especially for people that are seeing us and the youth people, that there is something very important to education in our days, to go to our team, there is a point that is missing a lot. That's what I call the critical thinking. And Buddha, I can say, is the CEO of the critical thinking, because he said, don't believe because I said, you do it, you try it. So this means please be critical, please question yourself, please analyze, please wake up. So this is, I think this is lacking a lot in education in our days. So I would like to finish this way, Dr. Christie, and I want to thank you all, my colleagues, for their kindness and patience, and send all my love to you all. And thank you again for this opportunity, Dr. Christie and Dr. Gulsha Sharma. Thank you all.
Thank
Also,
you.
the one question
Very
to
good
Dr.
explanation.
Gulshan. For the response of Dr. Gulshan, so I will collaborate. Please post your webinar so that I will be promoting through my network so that the young people can be joined from wherever they want to access to that. And for to Mr. Sharaf, when we arrive in Malaysia, I think let's have a 7-Up together.
Yeah, sure. sure. And 7-Up in Nepal and is a different taste from 7-Up in Malaysia, I think, as well in India. Let us enjoy the 7-Ups together. Yeah.
Thank you.
7-Ups everywhere, right?
Yes.
Do we still have Dr. Venerable Dhammapiya with us? I cannot see him here.
I can see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, am I audible?
Great.
Your voice, you have to increase a bit. Your voice, volume.
Hello.
Volume.
Yeah. Now, अच्छा ये one second. Hello.
Yes.
It's better.
Yeah, actually, I was trying the other gadget or this system where I can use hand-free kind of microphone, but I think I cannot do. Somebody tried for me.
We are happy with this gadget.
Okay. Thank you so much, all the panelists. Though I could not attend from the beginning, I have joined late. I'm sorry. Maybe unmindfully, you are talking about mindfulness. I have been unmindful in the car that I kept this speaker on for some time, and there might have been there was some for some time noise from my side around maybe 5-10 minutes or like that. Later, I found my microphone was on. Then I have switched off. I'm supposed to chant the closing chanting. Before that, maybe I'll share some of my thoughts, probably, though not longer. The Buddha, what he has said in the Dhammapada, you see, the Manopubaghamma Dhamma, Manosittha Manomaya, the word, the sloka, Manosittha Manomaya, the Buddha has spoken about the importance of the mind. And when we talk about the relevance of education and the life, they are the relevance of today's life or the world. What we find, whatever is in existence is the manifestation of the mind of someone. That is the intelligence or the potential form manifesting into actual form. Whatever we have been talking now, either it is inequality in society or the scandals that I have just found. I was not much aware of such kind of scandals. Sometimes only very rarely I have come across somewhere in America or somewhere like that. But largely I have not come across such kind of things in my context. So it's good that somebody has raised the point. So whether it is about the scandal or inequality in the society or any kind of things that is undesirable or unpleasant that happen in our life, uh, you find this is the manifestation of the form of mind. So when the mind is not kept or trained or developed in a particular way, then we get certain kind of result. And when the mind is developed and trained in a particular way, then we get another kind of result. So this, the good or the bad in the society or in our life, whatever we say, all are the result of the mind, right? This is a very important point. So that is why our Dr. P.R. Ratna, I think from Nepal, I was not from the beginning, who spoken about the Brahma Viharas at the end. I just heard. That's very important. The developing the mind to a state or the level where you dwell in a state, you have nothing but this loving kindness. You have nothing but compassion. You have nothing but you feel joyful and happy when people are doing good. It's called sympathetic joy, this mudita. You have nothing but equanimity and tranquility. See, this is what the level of mind we have to raise. So when we are talking about the problems in society that we are facing, that is basically whether it is by a teacher or cult leader or a monk or nun or layperson, man or women, it is nothing but the manifestation of the state of the mind. That's why the teachings of the Buddha and its relevance today is to transform the mind and to use different techniques given in the teachings, and that these teachings are relevant in different contexts, in different times that we have to understand. Of course, I'm having many guests also with me now. I think you'll be hearing lots of noise. I should not go ahead, maybe some other time. I'll try to concentrate. Now, actually, I'm in Delhi, not in Tripura. So there are quite some guests, they have also come. So they're having their own things. Okay, let me just chant the closing chanting for the welfare benefit of all the living beings and sentient. We close. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa bhavatu sabha mangalam rakhantu sabha devata sabha buddhanubhavena sada sukhi bhavantu te bhavatu sabha mangalam rakhantu sabha devata sabha dhammanubhavena sada sukhi bhavantu te bhavatu sabha mangalam rakhantu sabha devata sabha sanghanubhavena sada sukhi bhavantu te. May all beings be free from danger and illness, fear and suffering. May all beings be happy and healthy and peaceful. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope we'll join next Friday at the same time. I'll try to keep myself ready to speak sometime. Actually, today it happened like I was called by some minister to attend a program at around 6:30 Indian time, and I'm supposed to start to join the program at 7 o'clock, half an hour time. And then it was almost 7 o'clock. I just spoke to minister saying that I have to go for a Dhamma talk. Then I came out from his place, something like. Anyway, thank you so much. We should be having more meaningful discussions that we learn from each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venerable Dr. Dhamapia ji. Thank you, Dr. Christy. Thank you, Dr. Pia. Thank you, Dr. Sonia. And thank you very much, Sharaf ji. It was grateful to have all of you. Look forward to seeing you, meeting you, learning from you next Friday, 7 p.m. with lots of kiddies from Dr. Christy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.